did you do that?
You know, I felt like he was just too much of a smart mouth, and I didn't like that. So I was like, JP, look this up. Sure enough, his dumb ass doesn't even own his own.
Stop
Caleb,
the cap,
Caleb,
no?
take it easy. I'm gonna take care of him for you. I promise you. I promise.
Edgar Berlanga's recent actions have raised eyebrows, reminiscent of his past support for David Benavidez. But this time, it's even more shocking and concerning. Berlanga's antics seem to back whatever Caleb Plant is doing against him, adding fuel to an already intense rivalry. Canelo Alvarez has weighed in on the situation, and true to form, he did not side with Berlanga. Given the budding bromance between Alvarez and Plant, it's no surprise. It's almost easy to forget how these two were fierce adversaries, standing on opposite sides of the ring. Their bout, 2 years ago, was one of the most anticipated in recent memory, marked by a near brawl during the pre-fight build-up. The intensity of their clash, where they almost came to blows before being restrained, remains a vivid memory for boxing fans.
If we don't get the Canelo fight, then we're going to run it next. That's what you said, right? You know what I'm saying? That's what you said. I promise you. No, besides promise, I'm saying that's what you said. I'm going to knock you out, bro. I'm going to knock you out. Take your glasses off. I'm going to knock you out.
The encounter between Canelo Alvarez and Edgar Berlanga was marked by the usual trash-talking, but it quickly escalated with slurs and some personal insults. The tension reached a boiling point, and they almost came to blows, but fortunately, those present intervened in time to prevent a full-blown brawl.
Shut the fuck up! Shut the fuck up!
Buddy, that's for you.
During Edgar Berlanga's trash talk, he went as far as to troll most of Canelo Alvarez's opponents, including Caleb Plant, who was right in the conference room. This provoked an unexpected alliance between Alvarez and Plant, united in their determination to ensure Berlanga's defeat on fight night. Their alliance began immediately after their own fight 3 years ago, where they apologized to each other for their earlier spat during the press conference and acknowledged each other as great fighters.
I'm a fighter, so I'm sure even a lot of you with the cameras, if somebody come up and shove you that hard, you're going to come back at them, you know, and so, but we settled it, you know, even after the fight in the ring, he apologized.
Canelo Alvarez made it clear that he would never insult someone's mother, having lost his own in the past. This personal history may have driven Alvarez to promise Caleb Plant that he would defeat Edgar Berlanga on his behalf. Now, Alvarez is backing whatever Plant does against Berlanga, including purchasing Berlanga's domain. In a recent interview, Alvarez expressed his disdain for Berlanga, saying, "He deserves whatever happens to him." He claims to have a better IQ than Caleb, which is a lie. "He's not even better than my worst opponent. Caleb can keep doing what he's doing until Berlanga learns his lesson."
You know, they don't see outside of the ring, but when they come into the ring, it's just they see everything.
Throwing punches, whether in the ring or outside of it, and mocking his rivals, Canelo Alvarez is always in the spotlight when his fight is near. This time, he's embroiled in a heated exchange with Edgar Berlanga, ensuring that Berlanga regrets tangling with him. So, what exactly did the Tennessee native do? It all started when the two took their seats at the first press conference, as both are set to fight on the same card on September 14th. However, instead of directing his harsh comments toward Canelo Alvarez and making his case for a win, the 27-year-old Berlanga pointed fingers at 32-year-old Caleb Plant, who was seated in the audience.
What you say? That what?
Canelo.
What you say?
Canelo.
In the high-stakes world of boxing, rivalries often extend beyond the ring, and the tension between Canelo Alvarez and Edgar Berlanga is no exception. Berlanga's trash-talking is notorious, and his recent antics have only intensified his feud with the Mexican champion. However, this time, Berlanga's comments have also dragged Caleb Plant into the fray, leading to an unexpected alliance between Alvarez and Plant against Berlanga. The rivalry between Alvarez and Berlanga reached new heights when they faced each other at a press conference for their upcoming fights on September 14th. Both fighters will be on the same card, with Alvarez taking on Berlanga and Plant fighting for the WBA interim 168-pound title against Trevor McCum. Berlanga, known for his sharp tongue, chose to direct his barbs not just at Alvarez, but also at Plant, who was present at the event. Instead of focusing solely on his bout with Alvarez, Berlanga made pointed remarks at Plant, referring to a previous press conference scuffle between Plant and Alvarez. Berlanga's comments were designed to undermine Plant's reputation, suggesting that intelligence and boxing IQ would be the decisive factors on fight night. He mockingly declared, "We're not going to end up like that doomed guy over there that got knocked out," pointing at Plant. This provocation led to an unexpected alliance between Alvarez and Plant. Their relationship, once marked by intense rivalry, had softened after their fight 3 years ago. Following their bout, where Alvarez emerged victorious, the two fighters apologized to each other and acknowledged their mutual respect. This camaraderie laid the groundwork for their united front against Berlanga. Plant, in particular, took Berlanga's jibes personally. In retaliation, he purchased Berlanga's domain name and used it to promote his own videos and content, a tactic he had previously employed against David Benavides. This move was a clear signal that Plant was not backing down and was prepared to use every tool at his disposal to undermine Berlanga. The public exchanges between Plant and Berlanga have only escalated since the press conference. When Plant shared his domain buying tactic on social media, he accompanied it with a chess piece emoji, symbolizing his strategic move against Berlanga. Berlanga, for his part, was not amused and issued repeated threats against Plant, vowing to smack him in the face. Plant responded to these threats with characteristic bravado. He warned that if he retaliated physically against Berlanga, he didn't want to hear any complaints. "When I put my foot in his backside, I didn't want to hear anybody saying, 'Oh Caleb, why did you step to him?' He threatened me that he was going to smack me in the face. Let's see how that works out." In an interview, Plant elaborated on his decision to buy Berlanga's domain. "If you're a professional and you don't own your own domain, you don't even deserve to have it," he said. "So I just bought it. I was just going to keep it in my back pocket, but maybe one day I'll cock his glasses off." Canelo Alvarez, meanwhile, has been clear in his disdain for Berlanga. In a recent interview, Alvarez did not mince words, saying, "Berlanga deserves whatever happens to him." He claims to have a better IQ than Caleb, which is a lie. "He's not better than my worst opponent. Caleb can keep doing what he's doing until Berlanga learns his lesson." Alvarez's motivation goes beyond simple rivalry. Having lost his own mother, Alvarez is sensitive to personal insults involving family. Berlanga's comments hit a nerve, leading Alvarez to support Plant wholeheartedly. This shared sense of purpose has strengthened their alliance, making them a formidable force against Berlanga. As September 14th approaches, the anticipation for the fight night is palpable. Berlanga, undefeated in his 22 fights with 17 knockouts, faces the biggest challenge of his career. Critics question his ability to match Alvarez's experience and skill. Caleb Plant, who has faced Alvarez before, is skeptical of Berlanga's chances. He has to be able to use boxing skills that he doesn't have a chin that he doesn't have, and have the experience that he doesn't have to defeat Alvarez, Plant said bluntly. Berlanga, however, remains defiant. He sees the upcoming fight as an opportunity to prove his critics wrong and solidify his position as a top contender. Speaking to Fight Hub TV, Berlanga did not hold back in his criticism of Plant. "He's clout chasing. He's doing a lot of weird stuff just to be relevant again. A lot of people know he doesn't sell unless he's fighting a big fighter. So unlike, you're a hater, bro." For Alvarez, the fight against Berlanga is not just another title defense. It is an opportunity to silence critics who accuse him of avoiding tougher opponents like David Benavides. Alvarez has faced a roster of formidable contenders in his super middleweight career, including Berlanga, Benavides, and William Skull. The latter's exclusion from Alvarez's list of opponents led the International Boxing Federation to strip Alvarez of his belt. Berlanga's first world championship opportunity in 8 years comes with significant pressure. While his undefeated record speaks his prowess, many question whether he has the skills to face someone of Alvarez's caliber. Plant, who knows firsthand the challenge of facing Alvarez, believes Berlanga is not up to the task. He lacks the skills, the chin, the boxing ability, and the IQ, Plant said. I wouldn't rule out facing him in the future, but he's not ready for Canelo.